Had to cut out the beginning of this because of your Moira's fan theory. We're gonna probably just keep that to ourselves. Hopefully. Let's take a look at what's going on here, though. It's a bummer. That would have been so clean if you could have stopped that. I mean, you have fine placement so far. Knowing that they have a Genji and stuff, I may want to be on the high ground. But I actually like the low ground too for the mini. So we'll see here. What I don't want to see is you pushing up here. And I want to see you hugging either the left or the right more, because you haven't even touched tab. So how do you know if you're about to get headshot or not by a Widow? Go ahead and reload, yeah. Good, good, good. Still don't want to see you pushing up here. There's really no reason for you to. You're not going to help them get those cleanup kills. You have your ult. I would way rather you just stay back here. If you're going to grab, that may be a different story, because if you may want to combo with it.
Okay, grabbing now. Fire at will.
Oh no, help me, help me, help me.
That was a nice anti, even if it was late. This is clean so far. How long is this? Alright, it's longer, so I'm assuming they cap.
Yeah, hang on. I got wolf for run.
Okay. So you knew your team was going to get grabbed here, or you should have at least. So it's two factors. First off, call that you know your team is going to get grabbed here. And second off, don't throw your grenade or your sleep aggressively when you know this is about to happen. You can't stop the charge that's going to come, and you can't deliver that burst healing to your team because you used both of your cooldowns aggressively. Diamond is the elo that you really need to start using your abilities to counter, oh gosh, to counter your enemy's abilities. And not just using them faster or more, but actually planning when you're going to use them.
Yeah, hang on. I got wolf for run.
And I don't like that you nanoed your soldier here. I'm curious how it ends, but you're down 3. Oh, you're down 2 because you got 1 kill. And there's a blading Genji coming right for him.
Recovery on the nano, great.
It worked out for you guys, but don't ever please do that against a better Genji. Again, you're just kind of shooting your sleep and throwing your nade, and you don't even have your tanks right now so they can walk right in. What would you do right now if that Genji came for you when you have no cooldowns? Did you call out that you had to reload or anything? And I hope you don't look at that nano on that soldier and say, oh, it worked, so I should do that again. Because it was high risk, high reward. And so that's going to be a certain play style, and it's going to be up to you if you want to play that way. I'm not necessarily right saying that you can't do that, and I'm not necessarily wrong saying that you can't. What I would say you are wrong in is you're stressed too much about that Moira behind you.
Oh no, bad.
If you're really worried about that Moira, then you should have just rotated to the other side of the point. If you would have rotated like over here, you would have been totally safe.
I got wolf for run. I'm back.
just like check this out here real quick. Okay, so here we are. And as far as we know, enemy. 5. And we checked here, but Moira's realistically here. We never saw her leave. She doesn't have any sort of somber ability where she can go away from us. I mean, we know that Moira's still there. And then, team, us. So let's talk about where we could be. We're going to call this 1. We're going to call this 2. We're going to call this 3, 4. That's plenty spots. So where should we be right here? We clearly want to support our front line. So is there any that we cannot support our front line? No, so that's fine. The Widow needs to be more independent and shouldn't need us, and so we shouldn't stress about her. So actually that right there, along with the Moira being on our side, is going to eliminate 1. Because we're least needed here, and we have a threat here. So then we have 2, 3, 4. 2 is not something that I am going to hold, because they have the Genji who's going to come straight for you. So let's get rid of 2 as well. 3, 4, either one would have been just fine. You can shoot right down the middle, and you can play more up. You can play like here to shoot down the middle. And then 3, same thing. You can shoot right down, and you can also play like here. So really 3, 4 is almost the exact same spot, and definitely the right call when you have a threat that is going to push you from this way. And you know she's going to push in as soon as her team goes. And even though you checked for her, I feel like you checked and felt like you were safe, but you weren't safe. You were really in more danger than ever because now you know she's going to get a health pack or something if she's not there. And there's no reason for you to be up top. You need to go back to like the bottom corner where you'll be much safer.
Widow's across, all the one on the right.
Hey, who's got gold damage?
Oh.
Who's got silver damage? Oh, me.
I'm trash.
You know, you're great. You're doing great. I love it. I love that this can happen in this stupid brother game.
Sorry, my bad. What did I just say? I'm trash.
No, you're not trash.
And again, you're just playing risky up here. You don't need to be here for any reason. Everything that you did good, you could have done in the bottom right corner. And now you're frontlining.
I was already backing up.
Watch out, the Widow's top right. Oh god. I got turned around.
Now the Widow can easily shoot you because you're out in the open. See how there's a Widow dominating your Moira who can see you right now and you haven't even looked at her or adjusted to her? That's bad. I hate that you're up here. Yes, it's true, I play Ana safer, but I mean, I play Ana decently. She's one of my highest ranked characters, and I would really want to see you not up here at all. Especially because if you were in that bottom right corner, you can throw nades to that window just as easier, and then the Widow can't see you.
Just run. Oh, that Widow.
Now look at that Widow shooting you, who couldn't shoot you if you're in the bottom right.
We're on point, we're on point, we're on point.
I admire you're going to be okay.
go hang out over here. That's all I ask. That was good.
Grabbing.
Fire at will. You've got my strength unleashed.
When you are getting shot at like a widow, by a widow like that, I just don't want to see you even stopping AD strafing. You know she's coming. You know she's still there. Well, really you don't know because you haven't hit tab at all, which would help massively. But in theory, you know she's still there. And so AD, and I don't know if you didn't see that, Mario, but that's insane. But AD, A, and you'll probably live. Or, at bare minimum, have a much higher chance. You'll probably live against a plat or diamond widow. Don't try and out-snipe the widow. Heal your tank some point. Think about where you were standing here. So you actually could have backed up just a tiny bit. Backed up just a tiny bit, and you can see half of the point, and the widow still can't see you because of where she is. That's the beautiful part about corners. Whoever has the corner, which is you, can decide how the altercation takes place. And so you could have been right over here taking beautiful shots onto the point, and the widow couldn't even have seen you.
Oh my god, really? Knockdown?
She is uncontested, you're right, but she doesn't need to be getting value. If she can't see you, she can't shoot you. And like even now, I want to see you go out the right side. You know the widow's gonna shoot you here. Like you knew that was gonna happen.
Yikes.
If you go out the right side, it's at least not a completely straight line, and you have a little bit of space that you can react and strafe.
Lol.
Get him! Monzen!
So that was nice. It was clean. And then this was tragic. So you pushed up here, and you were actually reloaded in enough time to shoot your Rhine, but you decided to duel the Ana. And then you used your grenade to make up, to heal yourself. And if you can avoid it, you should never use your grenade to heal yourself or make up for your lack of aim.
He's so low! He's so low! Go, get on point, get on point.
Keep out of my way. My ultimate is almost ready.
I appreciated the joke. I don't think your team did.
Bye bye.
Sorry,
Yo, did you see that kill, guys? So sick. Wanna go main? There's a Junkrat trap top left. Actually, let's wait for Widow.
This will heal you.
You're making the right choice to wait. You need to call it again 2, 3, 4, 5 times to your team so that they understand that you guys need to pull out of this. Before that fight even began, you were down 2. Before it was even close to beginning, you were down 1. So you gotta be calling for your team to group up here. Like, it's crazy that your Widow and your Moira died that late. So call for your Ryan and ask him to walk you right here. The Widow has sights. You know you might get fucked. Your Ryan is right there with a big shield.
Oh, god damn it. 2 lawns. Where is it?
I feel like I have all.
I agree, but we need 6,
Yes, almost back. Wait. Are here? I'm here.
Alright, we're here.
And that's an example of using your cooldowns just for fun. You threw that up there and got no value out of it when you actually could have used it in that grab.
Big purple though on you guys. You guys got fucking anti hard.
Both teams were anti, it would have been a nice, fair fight.
Let's just get the high ground.
Yeah, I think they use more, actually they don't have more, I think they grabbed.
You should be paying attention to this. Like, as a player on your team, you should at least have a guess what alts they have. I mean, they have Transcendence. They're probably getting close to sights again.
Let's wait. We're down 1.
I wouldn't be surprised if they had Shatter.
Go. I'll keep you healed. I need to recharge. Feeling sleepy?
Wait for Hanzo.
I have no juice. I have no fucking juice. Just hold up.
You're going to be okay.
Okay, let's go.
I'm ready.
I'm gonna grab this.
Like, you just threw your sleep in there randomly. Like, you didn't even know who you were sleeping, if it was valuable. You nanoed an anti target, so they didn't get any health from it. You're throwing your cooldowns just because there's red guys, and that is going to be the easiest way for you guys to lose.
Soldier, can we get a soldier boy, please?
Sprayed over my spray on that
Top
rock.
right again.
Yeah, let's try it one more time. I'll try and get it.
I have your back.
Don't get purple.
This is already
Widow hangs left side down the hallway.
My team.
Get out of there, Hanzo.
So right now, I would want to see you talking to your team about how you're going to win. What is the plan? Because right now you guys are like, just go high ground. Just go point.
That's it, guys.
But if you guys were actually talking right now, like, hey, this next fight, we're just going to fight real quick to farm our Grab Dragon, and then we'll push top, Grab Dragon, and I want to make sure you're in position to anti, and whatever, but so that you actually have a real plan, instead of, oh, we'll just outplay him. We're going to go in and outplay him. I know it can be more difficult in solo queue, but come on.
You'll be fine.
You threw your sleep at nothing. You threw your grenade at nothing. You didn't even tell your Ryan he was an LOS until he was almost dead.
Low Widow.
I have your back.
You used your grenade to heal yourself. The most valuable ability you have. Maybe a little bit hard on you, but what I'm telling you is you could be doing so much better than this, and you definitely could be. And you just gotta correct these multiple little things that are leading towards mistakes. Like, why did we nano our Ryan there? What if they contested again? And our Ryan could have killed him so much faster with a nano.
Look at the spray.
Alright, let's knowledgeable.
Beyond.
This is not what I saw coming.
Is a man.
Probably should have. Ana and Widow can actually share a lot of really good characteristics.
the fuck?
So I don't like that you still know they have a widow, and you're just kind of playing out in the open before your team had even called out where she was.
I need my dad Madden's
Unfortunate.
Good job.
It's a good game. I mean, I gave you most of the honor tips that I want to give you, especially right at the end. So to do a quick summary, you're putting yourself in way too much unnecessary danger that is being caused by bad positioning. So you got to work on that and help make sure that you're not doing that to yourself, making yourself die more than you need to. And it wasn't even actually, a lot of times you got away, so it wasn't even that you were dying, but because you were running away, you couldn't get any value. Next, cooldowns, 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 cooldowns. It's a very like quick play mentality to throw your cooldowns as soon as you get them, because that's actually a very legitimate way to win in quick play. Like whatever on a nano boosts more or threw more grenades probably did more. But once you start throwing yourself into the higher levels of comp, plat, diamond, master, you really need to focus on using your abilities for a specific purpose and knowing why you're using them. You can't just shoot every sleep and nade the second it comes off cooldown, and then your Ryan gets charged and you're like, oh man, I wish I could have slept him. And then there's a grab on your team and you're like, oh man, I wish I could have antied it. That's just not okay, and that is going to be 100% why your team could lose. But other than that, it was fun to review. I wish it would have been a losing VOD because you guys didn't get punished for a lot of your mistakes. And I would encourage you to probably do another VOD, but make sure it's a loss where you felt like you contributed. Those are the best ones to do reviews of. Good luck on the climb.